lesser euro invoicing, there's been lesser use of the euro in international finance. All right? China has a long way to go. It will need to build up its institutions in terms of financial institutions, monetary policy making, full convertibility of the yuan. All of those things still are a far way to go. So this is going to take a long time. And remember that the dollar has a very entrenched system because it's used in international trade, it's used in international finance. It will take a major event to break that equilibrium. All right? But can it happen? It can certainly happen. And it will happen, and my prediction is that it will be happening in a very interesting way, which in the sense that it may not happen for a very long time, but when it does, it will happen very quickly. Just like the dollar and the pound, that for a long time it will look like, you know, the dollar's dominance remains, but then at some point the switch can happen very quickly. So I'm going to leave you with that. Again, just to conclude, I think that answering questions like what's the impact of exchange rates on the economy, how does US monetary policy transfer to the rest of the world, what's optimal exchange rate policy across the country, you kind of need to step back from what I would say is like the most common way of looking at international trade, because I just think that the facts and the data do not support it. And we need to move away and to think of the world more from a dominant currency perspective. There's always been a dominant currency. There's the pound and now it's the dollar and in general, it's a much better parallel in the world, and that has very different
slowing into right 5, into hairpin right.
Thank you.
To left 560, keep right over crest.
As we step into 2018 and as 2017
left 6, dip.
We have some very interesting questions.
Caution right 6, 80.
Year 2017.
Acute left, 60.
After a gap of 2 years, when global trade was even slower than global GDP growth.
Left 6.
The other question that has thrown up, that 2017 has thrown up, is that while Indian growth is normally synchronous with global growth,
into right 4 long, 60.
Below trend.
Right
whereas
3, don't
the world grew above trend, that is above the last 4 or 5 years. There are some
left
questions
4.
that 2017 has thrown up.
Into right 3 times to 2, 60.
We start with some of those questions.
Left 4, into left 4, into acute right.
So, moving growth below trend at a time when the global economy is above trend. Is this an aberration?
Into hairpin left.
Or is this a new normal?
I think it's an aberration at this point. This is partly a consequence of
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Last year.
Left 5 continues to 100 over bump. Right 6 bump dip.
But I think as
Caution slowing into right 5 into hairpin right.
So, what's your estimate?
Into left 560.
I mean, calendar 2018. Therefore, can we conclude that India will grow better next year than this year?
5.
I think India should actually grow way better than they grow.
2, 1,
it has a lot of
go. Left 5 continues to 100 over bump. Right 6 bump dip.
This past year.
Caution slowing into right 5 into hairpin right.
This looks like very confident.
Well,
to left 560, keep right over crest.
Didn't show up
left 6 dip.
That's one of the paradoxes.
Caution right 6,
always
80, acute left 60.
This year, the average monthly run rate has been more like $21 billion. We did have one reading of 26 billion, but largely we have been really subpar. What would you attribute that?
4, 3, 2, 1, go. Left 5 continues to 100 over bump. Right 6 bump dip. Caution slowing into right 5 into hairpin right.
The biggest import commodity 5 years
into
ago
left 560, keep right over crest.
which has dropped by more than half. What you're seeing is
left 6 dip.
because the price of the underlying crude petroleum has dropped. The price of
Caution
petroleum
right
has
6, 80.
To adjust for those
Acute left,
you find that
60.
the entire business fall in exports from FY 2013 to FY 2017.
Left
So
6.
if you look at quantities, I suspect, I don't have the data, but I suspect you won't find that.
So I have the data.
Into right
Quantities,
4 long,
as you say,
60.
import and export are affected by
Right
price.
3 don't cut.
But I'm not looking at that. If you look at year-to-date export
Into
performance,
left 4.
last year's almost doubled.
Into right 3 times 260.
Especially at the time when
Left 4. Into left 4. Into acute right.
destinating countries have grown fast. Therefore,
Small issue here. Take off
Into hairpin left.
top 5 exports: gems and jewelry, textiles, chemicals, agricultural products. All 5 are
Left 6 half long.
none of our top 5 are price setters. We are price setters.
Stay mid over
Which
crest
means
past
we are
junction.
responding
Left 4.
Factor this in with the rupee appreciation.
Right
last
3 long,
year
keep
or so.
in.
It went from about 67.
Left 2 long through dip crest.
It's about 63.
Into right
So you
5.
are having an asymmetric
Into
effect,
right
and this
2
is
late.
probably going to
Into
coach
turn
on
left
because
2.
Eritrea and what US export. But if you look at
Into
Indian
square
exporters,
right.
it's asymmetric. Because you are price takers rather than price setters, when the rupee depreciates, there's little or
Left
no
5
benefit
tight.
from a practical point of view, leaving aside the theory. Because very frankly, if you're selling and
Into
selling
right
commodities, you're
6.
selling, let's say, textiles to Walmart, the Walmart buyer is going to say, hang on, you've got a nice windfall from rupee
Into
depreciation,
left 6.
you better share part of that.
Into right 6.
Conversely,
60.
when the rupee appreciates like
Right
it has
1.
this year, don't expect that Walmart buyer to share any part
Into
of it.
turn left 1
So
past
it's
junction.
actually your rupee strength which is also getting exports.
but would you agree that
And left 4.
latest month, October, when export happened much better than they did
Into right 660. Keep right over jump. 1.
the exports of textiles
Good.
contracts. Ready-made garments have been
Right
contracted
6 over
for
jump.
several months.
Tight
Would
to
you
right 5.
therefore hold rupee appreciation
Left 6.
as the culprit?
Right 4 over small crest. Tight.
contributing factor. But
Into
much more
caution
than
right
that,
1 down.
actually, I think the way the trade blocks have been performing and the way access to market is being determined, that has been playing a very important role.
5,
Like for instance,
4,
let's say the emergence
3,
of countries like
2,
Vietnam, Bangladesh,
1.
or global
Left 5.
scenario, with their preferential access to a lot of markets where India really has
5,
been out
4,
today because
3,
the trade blocks have not
2,
worked in that way
1,
because
go.
they did not have access to those markets.
Left 5
In
continues
a
to
whole lot of
100 over
commodities,
bump.
I think
Right
India
6
is losing
bump dip.
primarily because it is not competitive.
Caution slowing.
And
Into
India
right
is
5.
today,
Into hairpin right.
I don't know whether it is design or it is because of the entrepreneurial initiatives. India is moving more towards more
Left
value-added
5,
engineering
60,
products,
keep right
project
over
exports,
crest.
project execution, etc. And
Left
that
6,
trend is
dip.
taking time to actually take place. I would
Caution right
agree
6,
with MD
80.
that
Acute
essentially it
left
is
60.
a short-term trend, yes. Over the long-term and medium term, I think with project exports and
Left
higher
6.
volume of engineering exports, which India is slowly gaining access to, we will be coming back
5,
in a much
4,
more manner as a
3,
bigger exporter
2,
than what we are
1.
today.
Just
Go.
because we will do well in
Left
engineering
5 continues at
exports,
100 over
exports,
bump.
why should
Right
we lose
6
out on
bump
textiles?
dip.
So are you saying this is a commerce ministry
Caution slowing.
MEA kind
Into
of
right
issue
5.
that has
Into hairpin
No, no,
right.
it's not governmental, not administrative, nothing. It's a very simple thing that
Into
we,
left 5, 60.
when we
Keep
move
right
up
over
on the
crest.
destination, on the economic development scale,
Left 6
we
dip.
become more expensive as a labor input cost.
Caution right 6,
We
80.
anyway have not answered a
Acute
whole lot
left
of our infrastructure
60.
which make a difference, like the movement of goods to the ports, like the power availability, etc.
Left
So it
6.
makes relatively a higher cost structure than a lot of other countries.
that's a more serious charge.
That's a
and
very
more
serious issue.
problem.
That is
These
there.
are very
Into right 4
It
long
is a
60.
productivity issue. I mean, Bangladesh and
Right
Vietnam
3
have
don't cut. Into left 4. Into right 3 times to 260. Left 4. Into left 4. Into acute right.
There certainly has been the issue of exporters having paid into the system but not
Into hairpin left.
So I think that has been a good one. Now, for the more kind of longer term picture, it's absolutely true that
Left 6 half
it's
long.
not very cost effective.
Stay mid over crest
And that
past junction.
has to be addressed. I don't think value
Into
in
right 3
and
long,
of
keep
itself.
in. Into left 2 long through dip, crest. Into right 5. Into right 1 late. Into turn left
Well, I mean,
2.
that's what it is. That edge is so
Into
bad.
square right.
They should be involved in trade pact.
Left 5 tight.
Complete the conversation with
Into
getting
right 6.
GST brings a bigger decision.
Into left 6. To right 6, 60. Right 1.
All of them have said
Into turn left 1 past junction.
It's an entirely different workflow, it's a different mindset. There are huge
And left 4.
Absolutely. Accepted this.
Into right 6, 60. Keep right over jump 100.
In the short run, yes, you are
Right 6 over jump,
in the long
tightens to
run,
right
you will
5.
have plans, you will have better revenue sources to the settlement.
Left 6.
You will have better data availability.
Into
So it's
right 4
undoubtedly
over small
a
crest,
long-term
tightens. Into caution right 1 down.
Just a swallow, or I mean, is it definitely an improvement that we will see in Indian exports?
I wouldn't just say that just October shows the trend.
Okay.
October definitely doesn't show the trend. Just as much as there were aberrations in a lot of Julys and Augusts,
5,
there could
Yes.
have been aberrations
4,
in October.
3.
See, a very
2,
fundamental point
1,
which Professor
go.
Gopinath points out.
Left 5
and
continues
that is
to 100
important.
over bump.
GST
Right
East
6
has
bump
been
dip.
disrupted essentially because the
Caution
system is
slow.
not yet
Into right 5.
streamlined the
Into
way the
hairpin right.
working capital operates. Companies or exporters have been forced to work with a larger inventory
To left 5,
and larger
60.
holdings,
Keep right over
which has
crest.
resulted in higher cost of production. So not only
Left
the
6,
labor productivity,
dip.
also maybe the overall cost of the interest overheads and all that
Caution right 6.
also gone up,
80.
which
Acute
might
left
have
60.
made our exports outpricing other exports, so more expensive.
Left 6.
Strangely, actually, last year was the last 12 months have been the years that we've actually controlled inflation. we thought. But in any case, would you say
Into
2018
right
is a
4
better
long,
year?
60.
Yeah, 2018 I definitely look
Right,
forward
3
to
don't
a
cut.
year, and my confidence comes from two sources.
Into left
One,
4.
as I said earlier, I'm a very favorite
Into
believer
right 3
that
times
yes,
260.
Indian exports in future would be more of knowledge content, more of eminence skills
Left 4.
content. So
Into
we are
left 4.
increasingly
Into
penetrating the
acute
market.
right.
From my desk in Exim Bank, I see that. The other thing is that GST would automatically also become much more streamlined, leading
Into
to lower
hairpin
inventory
left.
holdings. lower cost.
Just a quick question. Export ready, sir. Yes.
Left 6 half long. Stay mid over crest past junction.
Well,
Left 4.
I want to take one more.
Right 3 long, keep in.
Yes,
Left 2 long through dip, crest. Into right 5. Into right 2 late. Into turn left 2.
That part of the
Into square right.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely, where it works so that there are
Left
two
5
sides to
tight.
the paradigm. One is that export
Into
grow,
right 6.
cut back. What I believe the reality
Into
is that
left
we're not
6.
seeing much of the action.
Into right 6, 60.
But what's important
Right 1.
is what your currency is doing relative to the dollar.
Into turn left 1 past junction.
And that's what we're doing. It's come down to 67, 64.
And left 4. Into right 660. Keep right over jump 100. Right 6 over jump. Tightens to right 5.
That is our not
X
so
is
much
back.
Left 6.
well, the X comes before the M.
Right 4 over small crest.
So
Tightens.
you don't think import substitution is a threat? because
Into
of the-
caution right 1 down.
Yeah, I don't think, primarily because today the globalization has happened in such a
Into
manner
right 460.
that there are many ways in which products can come.
Caution keep right over crest.
You have to improve the overall
open hairpin
fundamentals
left.
of the way manufacturing is made.
Into right
Before you
6.
can really say that I am more competitive in this globalized world to be import
left
substitute.
2.
It's not the organic
Into
world
turn left 2.
where I was trading with people.
Into right 1 over crest.
So it could be quite a challenge to say
Into
that
left
this will
5.
automatically be
I don't know where it leads to.
Left 5 through dip 80.
We have a lot more.
Right 1 tightens post outside.
digital buying.
into
And,
crest,
you
into
could buy
right
anything from
4,
toothbrushes to toys on the net. And if your rupee is strong vis-a-vis the yuan, and
5,
as a matter of fact, in
4,
the last 20 months,
3,
the
2,
yuan has
1, go.
weakened.
Left
About
5
8%
continues at
more.
100, over bump. Right 6, bump dip.
Would not that important substitution
Caution slowing, into
Again,
right
I think
5, into hairpin
what
right.
matters is what's happening. I know that China is trying to
what happens to the
Into
rupee
left
vis-a-vis the dollar,
560,
what happens
keep
to the
right.
yuan vis-a-vis the dollar,
It-
and therefore import substitution is possible.
I think it's, yes, but again, it's, and you said that because the rupee is stronger relative to the dollar, that
5,
should have an impact
4,
on import substitution, not just
3,
for goods from the US,
2,
but also from China.
1, go.
Plea for
Left 5 continues
weaker
at
currency
100,
is still
over bump.
growing.
Right 6, bump dip.
Doesn't grow. Okay, well, let me
Caution slowing,
pose another
into right
question.
5, into hairpin right.
October 30th or 31st, at least that it was reported. The US Treasury was wondering whether
left
they should
560,
impose a
keep
charge
right over crest.
currency manipulator on India.
Left 6, dip.
I think it's crazy.
Caution right 6,
I
80.
mean,
Acute left,
identifying
60.
countries data was based on reserve, in my opinion, is bad economics, and so it makes no sense to me, and I can think of many other reasons why countries accumulate
5,
reserves that have nothing to do
4,
with currency manipulation,
3,
besides the
2,
fact of
1,
whether a
go.
country can actually
Left
manipulate
5
its
continues
exchange
at
rate in a
100,
very
over bump.
persistent way.
Right 6, bump dip.
So no, I think it's
Well, that charge
Caution
is
slowing, into
I
right
guess it
5,
sounds
into
like
hairpin right.
central for India, a market-based country. But basically,
Into left 560, keep
that,
right over crest.
The Reserve Bank should
Left 6,
have at
dip.
least one eye popped on the fact that Indian currency is
Caution right 6,
an inflation
80.
targeting
Acute left 60.
It's a big difference between how India has its monetary policy earlier and in the last 12 months. And an inflation
Left
targeting
6.
monetary policy would light and a stronger rupee rather than weaker. So this inflation target is
Into
under
right
threat.
4 long, 60.
So
Right 3,
the
don't
Reserve
cut.
Bank itself likes a strong rupee.
But it certainly would be
Into left
consistent
4.
at this point in time with
Into right 3 times the 2, 60.
where it is. But
Left 4,
I'm not
into
a
left
big
4.
believer in the idea
Into
of
acute right.
manipulating your exchange rate just to get it about right, trying to get your exports up and check. It doesn't
Into
work
hairpin left.
so perfectly. I think the idea of not having wild swings in exchange rates, I think what central banks should worry about. That's the extent to which you should
Left
be
6,
worried
half
about
long.
exchange rate, not so much about micromanaging whether I get the exports right.
Stay mid over
You may
crest,
not
past
get it
junction.
right, but per se, because you have a monetary policy,
Into right 3 long, keep in.
that is a good the Reserve Bank would be okay with a little bit of import substitution. That's not their big problem. They are going to be judged on inflation targeting.
Well, that's fair. Absolutely. I think if you're sitting right with the current numbers that you're looking at for inflation, and you want to think of what to do about policy, you cut rates, it's going to weaken the currency, that's just going to make your inflation worse. And so that is absolutely a concern.
So it could have inadvertently increased import
No,
substitution.
that's sound economics, so it makes sense.
All right. Okay, we leave it at that. I guess import substitution is not immediately that big a threat that the Reserve Bank is worried about. Let me come to the other conclusion that you had. The dollar, what can replace it? You spoke about euro and the yuan as potential replacement candidates. What about Bitcoin?
No, no. Bitcoin, so when you think of Bitcoin, there's the technology that goes behind Bitcoin, which the financial world is very excited about. But besides that, it comes close to gambling.
5,
when you
4,
bet on the Bitcoin.
3, 2,
I do not believe it will be, I'm making a prediction, yeah, it will ever be a medium of exchange like the way, the rupee is or the dollar is or currencies in the world are. I do not think how that's going to happen. Because the minute there's a real threat of that, regulation.
Left 5 continues for 100.
So right now it's basically
right 6 bump dip.
finance activities.
Caution slowing into right 5 into hairpin right.
So it is. It's a speculative. In my opinion, it's a speculative bubble at this point. There is some fundamental
To
value.
left 5 60. Keep right over crest.
But the pricing seems way out.
Left 6 dip.
As a matter of fact, over the past 2 months,
Caution right 6 80.
market capitalization
Acute left 60.
doubled. From around $100 million, it's now
Rear
over
right
$400
puncture.
million. Several countries are accepting taxes in Bitcoin, some Scandinavian countries. And the United States has allowed 2 markets to have Bitcoin futures.
5,
and if
4,
Bitcoin futures are allowed,
3,
obviously
2,
leveraged
1.
positions will be taken by
5 continues to 100. Over
very
bump.
legitimate.
Right 6
So,
bump dip.
is there not a future that
Caution
Bitcoin is
slowing
taking more and
into
more
right 5 into hairpin right.
The U.S. likes to have a policy where it's
Into
not
left 560,
interfering
keep
directly
right
in
up.
kind of what assets can be traded and all of that. And so the Bitcoin is another speculative asset, and it is what it is. But there's
5,
heavy regulation.
4,
There is
3,
much more regulation
2,
in the banking sector.
1, go.
That's what people are about.
Left 5 continues for 100. Over bump.
It
Right
looks
6
like it's
bump
going to
dip. Caution slowing into right 5 into hairpin right.
Economy, they're going to crash.
To left 560, keep right over
banned
crest.
in China. There are many countries in the world that have banned.
Left 6 dip.
I do not see
Caution right 6.
way other
80. Acute left 60.
Well, what's your sense? Do you think that
Left
Bitcoin
6.
will take away at least some space that gold is occupying as an element?
Into right 4 long 60. Right 3 don't cut.
Takes people on the push level, that's fine.
Into left 4.
And when it comes to
Into right 3 times
what is a currency?
260.
Currency is a piece of paper which ultimately is a confidence scale. And how much confidence do you have in the issuer of that currency to maintain its value and to
5,
safeguard your
4,
savings?
3,
None of that, to my
2,
mind, applies to Bitcoin.
1,
So it's a nice
go.
game to play. I have friends
Left
who are
5
dabbling in it.
continues for 100. Over bump.
But I
Right
don't see
6
it
bump
ever.
dip. Caution slowing into right 5
What's your sense,
into hairpin right.
Radhika? Bitcoin is just something, a passing pastime?
Into
If I
left
remember my
560, keep
economics
right over
there
crest.
are 2 types of currencies. One is a promissory note and one is a legal tender. Bitcoin is neither of them. Okay, Scandinavian
5,
countries accepting
4,
it as trade
3,
is a close proxy.
2,
It's yet to
1,
emerge as a
go.
legal tender.
Left
Definitely
5
promissory
continues
note
for
it is
100.
not.
Over bump. Right 6
I
bump
don't know whether
dip.
it will be a money stock or a great stock.
Caution
That I
slowing
don't say.
into right 5
But
into hairpin
Articulum
right.
has some economic fundamental behind it. Gives it the confidence. Call it
To left 560, keep right over
Otherwise,
crest.
currency cannot survive. That is a very strong feeling.
Left 6
After all,
dip.
currency is after all a medium fix. It's not
It is a medium of exchange. You can buy Amazon products, you can buy Microsoft products.
Acute left
but you cannot
60.
say. See, end of the day, it's not that digital
So it's not
digital
arrived
trade.
there. I agree.
That is
I
where it
agree.
is.
But
And
money is a
it can be easily hacked into.
Yes.
it can be hacked into.
There's no
The
safety.
blockchain can't be hacked
no.
into.
5,
You
4,
lose all of this
3,
so-called
2,
privileges that you have
1,
by a hacker.
go.
All right.
Left 5 continues to 100 over bump. Right 6 bump dip.
Not only in the digital.
Caution slowing into right 5 into hairpin right.
Forbid trade between Until and unless Bitcoin comes down to that,
Into left 560.
that requires a whole lot of confidence between both of us in accepting Bitcoins. Today, when it moves from $5,000 to $15,000 and comes back to $3,000, it's very difficult for you to estimate your wealth. And the wealth effect of consumption would not play out.
Okay, fair enough. At the moment, it's not a threat, but
Thank you. Yeah.
maybe next year in the next